What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick on that grind Cactus, and today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new legendary weapons that are dropping from the Vesper's Host dungeon, which was just added into Destiny 2 within episode Revenant. These weapons are technically still classified in the database. There is no information within there, but as more people beat the dungeon and start posting their incredible rolls, we can get a sense of just how good these weapons are, and they're looking pretty darn good. So let's get started. So as you can see right here, there are 4 Vesper's Host dungeon legendary weapons, and if you want to get any of these weapons for yourself, definitely check out my complete Vesper's Host dungeon guide linked right up above. Now, before we get started with the god rolls, let's take a look at the thing all these weapons share, an origin trait. So it's called Bray Legacy, and it says damage with this weapon generates a small amount of ability energy for the one closest to a full charge. So just getting more abilities for using these weapons is very good. Any of the origin traits that improve ability gen are usually a lot of the better ones. Let's get things started here with the Versus Velocity Baton. This is a Void special grenade launcher, and importantly, it's an area denial frame. It's only the second area denial frame grenade launcher in the entire game. The first one ever was the Stasis one added last season. So already, that's a big deal in terms of uniqueness. But grenade launchers as a whole are doing really well this season because there are several seasonal artifact perks that improve them. Specifically, grenade launchers are able to cause a weaken effect on more powerful targets, and that is incredible with area denial frames because they shoot multiple projectiles and they provide damage over time. As you can see in the background gameplay, like you can essentially stick this to a boss. They're actually affectionately called legendary wither hordes, area denial frames are, and so you can get a really easy weaken effect that way and then follow up with your more powerful, heavy weapon. So that is absolutely awesome. And on top of that, the rolls it can get are very interesting. So as you can see here, I got one with reverberation, which is going to increase the size of the detonation in the left column. So that's already very rare. But also in the right column, you can actually get bait and switch. Now, bait and switch is a god tier damage perk, but I'm not sure you want it here on an area denial frame. Still pretty crazy, it can actually get bait, but taking a look at some of the other perks this thing can actually get, in the left column, the fact that you can get Demolitionist is definitely pretty powerful. I mean, if you are shooting this thing into an enemy spawn and destroying tons of red bars, again, that's an area denial frame's specialty. You're getting so much grenade energy. Combine that with the fact that you can throw a grenade and instantly reload is awesome. Then in the right column, it can actually get destabilizing rounds. So already this is a, void weapon now providing that a volatile explosion potentially is really playing into those void synergies, and again causing a weaken effect this season too. So you have a lot of void keywords going on if you do get destabilizing rounds. Keep in mind, like as you can see, it's not a complete list. It doesn't have bait and switch on there. There's still emerging information about what roles are possible with these weapons. But again, this is a super hype one because it is again the first ever void area denial frame and only the second area denial frame in the entire game. So definitely one worth going after. Moving on from there, guys, we have the Versus Galatic Arrest Fusion Rifle. This is a Void Adaptive Frame Fusion, and the roll I was able to get might just be the PvP God roll. So as you can see right here, I actually got Under Pressure in the left column. Now this actually specifically got a nerf because of PvP fusion rifles, but it's still decent. But then in the right column, I actually got Closing Time. This is a brand new perk which says you get improved range, accuracy, and handling as the magazine gets lower. Well, you're only starting off with like a couple of rounds in PvP anyways, so Closing Time should be easily activated, and that is really a dangerous combination. But taking a look at some of the other perks this thing can actually get, so again, you have Demolitionist in the left. You actually have Repulsor Brace for the ability to get overshields as well, heating up. Some people really like for PvP. And then in the right column, guys, Interestingly, you have that new Withering Gaze perk that will cause a weaken effect, but then you have Chain Reaction for PvE, but also Fragile Focus, Kickstart, and you also have Successful Warm-Up. Those are all incredible PvP perks. So this is shaping up to be potentially a very good PvP fusion rifle. Now, moving on from there, guys, we have the Versus Pyroelectric Propellant Auto Rifle. So this is going to be an adaptive frame 600 rounds per minute arc auto rifle, and taking a look at the perks that this thing is confirmed to be able to get. First of all, you can actually get rewind rounds in the left. Now, rewind rounds is insane. Like, that is just a god tier PvE perk, massively extending your magazine based on the number of hits you get. But you also have, strategist if you do want to get some ability energy back. And then in the right column, man, you have a lot. You actually have reconstruction in the right. So rewind rounds plus reconstruction could just give you an absurd magazine size. But on top of that, guys, you also can get stuff like kill clip and stuff like onslaught, target lock. Like, this is amazing. Jolting feedback is actually the new perk that will cause a jolt effect after continuous fire instead of volt shot that requires a reload. So that means rewind rounds plus jolting feedback, that's a wombo combo, and that is extremely powerful. But honestly, rewind rounds plus reconstruction, rewind rounds plus onslaught, rewind rounds plus target lock, any of those would actually be very, very good. Now, moving on from there, guys, the final weapon we're going to be looking at here, and potentially the one that people end up really going after the most, is going to be the Versus Chill Inhibitor. Now, this is a heavy stasis grenade launcher that belongs to the rapid fire frame 150 rounds per minute archetype. And taking a look at the perks it can get, oh my goodness, there are some insane combos. So importantly, in the left column, it can get Envious Arsenal. Now, this is actually a new perk, way better than Sympathetic Arsenal, which says if you hit a target with your other two weapons, it reloads this weapon. Now, that is an absolute wombo combo within the right column, Bait and Switch, which gives you that massive damage boost when you hit a target with all three weapons. Bait and Switch is arguably like the best overall PvE damage perk when it comes to like boss DPS weapons. For heavy weapons, certainly it's incredible. So the fact that you can get that Envious plus Bait and Switch god roll, you are rewarded for switching your weapon, you're getting that damage boost, and you're reloading it. That's actually the same god roll that the bitter/sweet arc grenade launcher can also get, which is one of the Revenant weapons, right? Now, you're gonna have to farm a crap ton of onslaught to get that, but you can focus it with tonics and so on. The reason it's a big deal here, though, is because this is stasis. We have a massive stasis theme this season. So often you are looking for stasis weapons. If you're playing a Titan and you have Diamond Lance, well, you can trigger Diamond Lance from getting kills with a stasis weapon. So if you're already using, for example, the God tier primary stasis grenade launcher that came in the season's past, well, then you can throw on this bad boy, and then your stasis weapon surges are doing double duty, right? Like, again, there is so much synergy with stasis. There's a lot of push to be using stasis weapons for this season. So definitely this getting that, god tier DPS role, but being stasis, I think is a very big deal. If you don't like that, however, it can also get in the right column stuff like Explosive Light is another god tier DPS perk, or even Chill Clip or Chain Reaction if you want it more for ad clear. Chill Clip certainly would play more into that stasis synergy, but again, I don't think it's necessarily that good. But again, the fact that it gets that like brand new god tier damage roll that people are really freaking out about on the bittersweet but is stasis, like that is again a big deal. I think a lot of people, including myself, are really going to be grinding for this thing. Guys, that is going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.